Saturday's Money in the Bank pay-per-view had a few different results that changed the landscape of WWE quite a bit. Not only did Theory and Liv Morgan win their respective Money in the Bank matches, but Morgan actually cashed in that same night to defeat Ronda Rousey and win the Smackdown Women's Championship. Before Theory claimed his briefcase, Bobby Lashley defeated him for the United States Heavyweight Championship. Last night's Raw dealt with all of the fallout from the pay-per-view while beginning the build-up for SummerSlam. Let's take a look at what went down during last night's show, for this is Ridiculously Raw. Welcome, everybody, to a special Tuesday night edition of Ridiculously Raw, still the most must-see show on YouTube and StreamYard.com today. I am your host, Anthony Florio, joined as always by good old MF Michael Fletcher. We are awaiting the presence of the Phenom Michael Bullock. If he comes in, we'll catch him up on what he missed. If not, then we'll hopefully have him tomorrow night for Wednesday Night Madness. Special Tuesday edition of Ridiculously Raw here. Last night, of course, it was obviously the 4th of July, and we decided to take the holiday off and get a much-needed recharge, and we're all ready to go here. So, with all that being said, Money in the Bank in the rear view, and now it's on the road to SummerSlam now. So, here we go. Last night's show live from the Pachanga Arena in San Diego, California on the USA Network. We started it off with an in-ring segment, Bobby Lashley, and then interrupted by Theory. And it was announced that Theory will be invoking his rematch clause for the United States Heavyweight Championship against Bobby Lashley at SummerSlam. Well, so much for those Cena rumors there. So, But not the last time we'll see these two guys. They were involved in a 6-man tag team matchup where Bobby Lashley teamed with the Street Profits to take on Theory and Alpha Academy. We'll get into that in a little bit. But, it was a decent segment. It helped both men build the kind of heel and babyface heat they need right now. So that's really all there is. But one interesting thing that Lashley did say, and that is Lashley saying there is nobody in any division or any promotion, was a fun little reference to the Forbidden Door. But it will ultimately mean nothing because WWE will never open that door. So we'll keep an eye on that. But for right now, let's move on to our first match of the night. Tag team match, as it was the hometown boys, the Mysterios, Rey and Dominic, returning home to San Diego to take on Finn Balor and Damian Priest of the Judgment Day. Winners of the match in 11 and a half minutes via disqualification. It was the Mysterios. Well, it seemed like a random tag match, and it was. But the back and forth action was a little more entertaining than a lot of bouts, especially because it ended with the infamous Eddie Guerrero chair trick. As Balor was preparing to hit Rey with a chair while Damian Priest had the referee distracted, Rey dropped to the mat and acted like he was already hit. The ref turned to see it and called for a disqualification. Usually DQ endings get boos from the crowd, but Rey, taking a page out of Latino Heat's playbook, got a big pop from the crowd. But then again, look where he was. It was San Diego. So I would probably give this about 3 stars for the effort. And you notice Finn Balor's got a new look. He's got new gear, and it definitely fits the aesthetic of the Judgment Day group. But there are going to be some fans who may not like the look. The chair spot was not the only reference to Eddie Guerrero in this bout. It's nice to see Rey so willing to pay homage to Dom's quote-unquote real father, and that's really all there is to say on that. So a solid 3 stars for the effort. MF, the hometown boys paying a nod to their late great dear friend and Uncle Eddie. What a moment.
Yeah, very, very solid moment, no doubt about it. Great way to start the show, which was very well done. Good match. I kind of disagree. I got to give it like maybe 2.5, 2 3/4. I don't want to give it the full 3. I did love that ending, though. That ending was absolutely perfect. It was spot on. It was necessary. I don't have any gripes with it. I know a lot of fans didn't have any problems with it because it was that nod and homage to Eddie Guerrero. You're in the 619. You're in San Diego. That's pretty close to to the Mexican border. We all know anywhere down near that Mexico area, Eddie and the Guerrero family is beloved just as much as the Mysterios. The Mysterio name is legendary in Mexico. So to get a nod from one of the greatest wrestling families in Mexico, the Guerreros, and the way that the Mysterios tip the cap to the memory of Eddie Guerrero, and especially in the area and the location of it was going to hit. You can't do it anywhere else. You could not do that anywhere else. It needed to be. If it's in Texas, down in El Paso, they got it. They know it. You do it in Dallas, you do it in Houston, they'll get it. San Diego, perfect spot. So I think they played it to the T. It was perfection. Yeah, absolutely incredible. So solid for what it was worth. Anthony, let's move on.
In the next match, of course, repetitiveness, as we all know, what WWE is known for. It was the phenomenal AJ Styles versus The Miz. AJ Styles wins the match 6 minutes and 25 seconds via the phenomenal forearm. But MF, it looks like The Miz has himself an enforcer, a Sicilian psychopath of an enforcer.
Yeah, Tommaso Champa joins Team Miz. That was a nice get. I actually enjoyed it. I thought that was a very good get. That's a very good pickup. Champa hasn't done anything yet. If he works with The Miz is already one of the most over guys in WWE. He's a great heel to work with. The way that they can do it, it could be actually be the best thing that it would be. I think it'll work out. The thing that I wonder is AJ gonna now help Logan Paul? Because remember, Logan Paul did sign a contract with WWE, and it looks like it will be The Miz versus Logan Paul at SummerSlam. Champa will be in the corner of The Miz. So now, is Logan Paul going to have a second guy? Is he going to have AJ, beside him? Even though I don't think AJ really needs to be there, I think it's kind of beneath him. But at the end of the day, I think the question will have to be thrown at there is what's going to happen next. I like where it's going. I like the storyline that's being conveyed. Obviously, Miz versus Logan Paul will happen at SummerSlam. It's practically all but confirmed now. So it's just how is it going to play out? What is it going to look like? We'll wait and see what happens there. But at the end of the day, it was a solid match too. I could give this about 2.5 stars, 2 to 2.75. So, Anthony, it's yours.
2.5 for me here. Even though AJ probably controlled the pace a bit more, this was a highly competitive match. Both men came close to winning a few different times and used just about every signature move in their repertoires. And Styles able to secure a clean win with a phenomenal forearm. But this is unlikely to be the end of their storyline. As he was celebrating the win, Styles was attacked from behind by Champa, and The Miz took the final shot with the skull-crushing finale. And that's really all there is to say on that. So the Champa we knew in NXT would never team up with The Miz, even as a heel. But now he has. So really all there is to say there. So then we had an in-ring segment with the new SmackDown Women's Champion, Liv Morgan. And cut a victory lap promo there. Interrupted by Natalya. And And then Carmella came out, and then Carmella and Natalya went to work on Bianca Belair. I mean, I should say on Liv Morgan, and then Bianca Belair came out, and then Adam Pearce pulling the Teddy Long here, the tag team Teddy, if you will. Made it a tag team match, players. Carmella and Natalya versus the Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair and the new SmackDown Women's Champion Liv Morgan. And the winners of the match in 13 minutes and 25 seconds, it was the champion team of Bianca Belair and Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan with the Oblivion on Natalya for the win. And I'll say it like this. One of the fights of the night here. After a decently long match with a lot of action, Morgan was able to get the pin for her team. This match won't be talked about much, but it was fun and gave the women a lot of time to work. And you have to wonder if Mella and Natty purposely coordinated their gear because they knew they would be in this match together. Natty seems to hesitate when she hits that discus clothesline as she spins, so it doesn't always look smooth. She really needs to throw her weight into it to make it look like her father's move. And Liv Morgan keeps getting better. You can see a marked improvement in the way she moves around the ring just over the last 6 months. She clearly spends a lot of time training and working to get better, and it has paid off. And I will give this about 3.25, teetering on 3.5 for this. One of the fights of the night for sure, and a nice win for the champion tag team of the Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair and the new SmackDown Women's Champion Liv Morgan. So, and it was a standard victory lap promo for Liv Morgan. I've read a lot of reviews. A lot of people didn't like it, but how could you not? I mean, you saw the emotion in her, and you know the fans with the "you deserve it" and all that, and after everything she's been through, she damn sure deserves it. So you can't please everybody. I know her promo wasn't for everybody, but I didn't think it was all that bad. So not much more to say. 3.25, maybe 3.5 for this. So not much more to say. MF, good, a solid victory lap promo for your new women's champion. And then she follows it up with scoring the win for her in the EST against Mella and Natty.
She got too caught up in the moment, Anthony. I think that's the problem. She kind of came off sounding like she was screaming her promo more than anything else. That's where the problem lies. Look, I get it. What she did was remarkable. What she did is incredible. What she did was awesome. And the thing is that she got too caught up in the moment. You know, you could tell, you know, she was bouncing like Tigger. She was so excited. She wanted to be out there. And that's great. And I'm so for it. And I'm with it. I'm for it. But you got to reel it in a little bit, sweetheart. That's the only thing I'm going to have to say. Just reel it in. Maybe it was just the jitters because, you know, this was her first time as SmackDown Women's Champion. This is her first ever championship she's holding in WWE. So maybe I felt like the moment kind of was a little too big for her. You know, I'm not saying that I think what we saw in the ring was better. I think if this would have been a promo backstage, I think it would have been a lot more better. I think she would have been a lot more polished, a lot more better out there. But because of the fact that I think she really fed the energy of the crowd. And I think that's what kind of hurted her a little bit in the promo. As far as the match goes, yes, sleeper fight of the night. It was good for what it was worth. There was solid action. But the thing was, Liv got the final pin. She hit Oblivion. She got the win. She gets the 1, 2, 3. That's great. That solidifies her character. That solidifies her being the SmackDown Women's Champion. And I cannot wait to see that baby girl very soon on SmackDown. She doesn't have the side plates yet. We're still waiting for the side plates because I don't think WWE was ready for this. So she still has, I think, because she took a photo last night, a selfie, and she still had the Ronda Rousey. Well, I think it was from Sunday night. She had the Ronda Rousey side plates. If you notice, last night on Monday Night Raw, it was the traditional WWE side plates. They don't have side plates ready for Liv Morgan yet. So I'm hoping this Friday night for SmackDown, when she does make her, I guess you could say, SmackDown debut as SmackDown Women's Champion, hopefully by then we'll have the plates will be in place on that belt for Liv Morgan. I can't wait. I'm excited. And like I said, it was the feel-good story of the year. But now there is rumors and there's talk that it's going to be a short reign. That eventually she will drop the belt very soon. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that's been circulating all over the net. That the belt will be a short-term run for Liv, and it's going to be a damn shame. It is a damn shame because she worked so hard to get to the title. You heard all the love and the support that she got. The question is, who's going to be the one to take it? People were pointing at Ronda Rousey, and it looks like it will not be Ronda. It doesn't look like it's going to be Ronda. Now the question becomes, could it be Charlotte? Because she's coming back, and she will be back very soon. Or could it be Bayley? Could they bring the role model to SmackDown and have her capture the title off of Liv? Now if it's Bayley, that's going to be a dilemma because there's a lot of people that love Bayley. They love her, what she's been doing in social media, and they've been clamoring for her to come back. What if she's the one to take the belt off of Liv? Now you got Liv versus Bayley. I mean, these are two of the most popular people in the IWC on WWE social media. These are the two most popular stars right now. I mean, if WWE is smart, you let these two go at it for a little bit. Let Liv chase this belt. She got the crowning achievement. She won the title. But sometimes the chase is even better when you're going after it. And having an established heel like Bayley, if she comes back with that role model gimmick and the whole 9 yards, what she was prior to her injury, oh my goodness. SmackDown Live could be on the verge of what could be the best SmackDown program in such a very long time. And we're itching for a moment like this. I hope Bayley does officially come to SmackDown, and I hope this opens the door for Bayley versus Liv for the SmackDown Women's title, because if that happens, the Blue Brain is gonna be rolling in dough, man. It's gonna be making money. Yeah. Floyo, back to you.
Oh my goodness, the Crime Time reference. Oh boy. I was not expecting that. I don't even know how to follow that after that, but I'll give it a try. How about a matchup with Seth Rollins squaring off against Ezekiel, and Seth Rollins winning the match in 10 minutes and 15 seconds. MF, yes, predictable outcome, but you know, you gotta admit Zeke actually looked halfway decent, but then Riddle showed up, and it sounds to me like we're gonna have a Rollins Riddle match at SummerSlam.
Oh, absolutely, and I'm all for it. Rollins versus Riddle is going to be lit. That's going to be a great match at SummerSlam at Nissan Stadium. And if you're Ezekiel, yeah, absolutely. Tremendous, nice performance. A lot better than he's done in the last few months. And I think the problem is with Zeke is that we don't know where he can go right now. he's kind of stuck in a rut. You know, he had his rivalry with Kevin Owens for a long time. Now he's coming off of a very good match against Seth freaking Rollins. But it looks like Rollins is going to be off of a war and a possible fight. And I think that's going to be very interesting to watch. You know, Rollins and Riddle, that's going to be lit. I think that is going to be a show stealer for SummerSlam. I mean, if you're a fan of Monday Night Raw and you're a fan of Seth freaking Rollins and Riddle, these two men have going on that upward trajectory. Rollins has already been there many times. You know, he had that great battle with Cody Rhodes. Now he's propelling, going higher and higher. Of course, Riddle's coming off of this, trying to show love for Randy Orton, trying to show Randy, hey, I can do this. I'm doing it. You know, I'm thinking about you. I miss you, brother. You're my best friend. But I want to show you that, hey, I am an impact player. I can be something. And he's really taken off. Many people thought he should have won Money in the Bank. And I know you do, Florio. I know you felt that way. And there was rumors going around that but even though it looked like the whole story was actually meant for Theory to win Money in the Bank, but there was some talk that they were actually thinking of putting Riddle over the top and giving him the Money in the Bank. And then there was even reports of, you know, Rollins possibly getting it. So, I mean, there is definitely a lot of rumors going around, but at the end of the day, Theory was going to be the guy regardless. Theory was the one that was going to get the Money in the Bank. So we're going to have to wait and see how this plays out. But yeah, this is going to be very interesting to watch down the line. So nothing more to say. This is a solid 3 for me. Anthony, it's yours.
Yeah, 3 3.25. The reason for this match was very dumb, but the match itself was actually quite good. Seth Rollins is one of the best in the game, so it won't surprise anyone to hear he did a great job. What might shock some is how Zeke kept up with Rollins and may have ended up producing one of the best matches of his career in the process. This was not a match of the year candidate, but it might just be remembered for being the strongest performance on this show. And after Ezekiel came close several times, Rollins nailed him with the curb stomp to score the win. So, I'll tell you what, Zeke picking Rollins up over his head to hit a press slam was an impressive display of power. It looked like it was so easy for him. The spinning powerbomb Zeke hit looked clean. And I'm a little iffy about Riddle's RKO. It just doesn't look right to me. I mean, he always hits it when he should, but there are so many other people out there who can do a cutter much better than him. Homicide is one guy who might be as good as Randy Orton when he hits it. So 3.25 for that. Then we had a 6-man tag team match. Then it was the 6-man tag that I mentioned earlier. The new United States Heavyweight Champion Bobby Lashley teaming up with the Street Profits to square off against Mr. Money in the Bank Theory, along with the Alpha Academy, Chad Gable and Otis. Winners of the match in 10 minutes and 5 seconds. Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. Bobby Lashley with a spear on Chad Gable for the win. Theme of the night here. 3.25 stars for this. Now, this was a solid performance from 6 guys who are already known to be reliable. And the team of Lashley and the Profits seem to work together especially well. And Dawkins doing the tope con hilo and landing on his feet has looked impressive in his last 2 matches. So I think he's going to very likely make that a regular spot that he hits. And there was a kind of a funny moment when Ford threw Gable out of the ring and then realized he was too close to his corner and moved back to the middle of the ring. And that led to him eventually making the hot tag to the Almighty. And the way Dawkins blasted Theory to send him over the announce table looked incredible. Lashley doing a roll after his spear is a nice touch. It doesn't always make it look like he is hitting them harder, but it's a nice way for him to get right back to his feet and make the move unique to him. Now, that the spear he hit last night was not one of his best. It wasn't that boom shakalaka spear, but he hit it anyway, and it was enough for the win. So this was another 3 to 3.25 stars. MF, Bobby Lashley, and the Street Profits. Hey, that's a fun that's a fun trios unit. I wouldn't mind seeing more of that in the future.
Absolutely not. That'd be a good 6-man tag, no doubt about it. The body of work was very good. It was a solid match. I thought they did a good job. I thought they did a very good job more than anything else. At the end of the day, it was great for what it was worth. It was solid for what it was worth, and yeah, I really enjoy it. So yeah, I could say about three for me. So really nothing more to add. Anthony, back to you.
All right. And moving on now. All right. We were waiting for it, and we finally got it. We got the holiday silliness that we've come to know and love. R-Truth dressed up as Uncle Sam and all this stuff. And, did his usual campy comedy nonsense and interrupted by Ludwig Kaiser, which only means one thing. The Reign General, the Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, Gunther. And it led to a match. Gunther and R-Truth, and Gunther deliciously squashed R-Truth in 55 seconds. So,
this is why I think this is gonna bring out John Cena. R-Truth is really close with Cena.
This is true.
Cena is very, very proud American.
Yep.
If they, and I know there was something on social media, and it wasn't even Cena, it was WWE, and they talked about that there's one belt that Cena never captured in his career. It was the Intercontinental title.
Correct.
Gunther posted that and responded to that and said that in no particular words, basically, he's not going to beat me. I think WWE social media kind of planted the seeds there. Now we heard that Cena is off the table. Now that we know that Cena versus Theory is now off the table, Cena versus Gunther, the match I brought to the table in front of you guys on Talking Wrestling, and you guys kind of didn't really poo-poo it, but you kind of like, but you had your doubts. There's no more doubting now.
No.
This has to happen.
It's looking good.
It's looking a lot more stronger. I'm in a stronger position. My theory became a more stronger position last night because of what Theory said.
And what did he say?
When Theory challenged Bobby Lashley for the United States title. The rematch.
Yep. Yeah, I'm a little sidetracked here. I'm just looking over something here, but
all right.
But yeah, that's definitely. I mean, I'll be honest. I had doubts when you said that because for the longest time we were hearing Cena Theory, and that's why I was going off that. But then after Theory and Lashley became official, and with Theory holding Money in the Bank, maybe it's not going to happen. I think a Theory Cena match could happen, but I think if it does happen, I think Mania might be the best spot for it. But I don't know. We'll see. But Cena and Gunther. I mean, I would love to see Cena win the Intercontinental belt. I mean, yes, it's beneath him, but it's the one title he's never won. Seth Rollins, on the other hand, he's won every single title there is to win. He's won the WWE Championship. He's won the Universal Championship. He's won the Intercontinental. He's won the US. He's won the Tag Team. He's won the Royal Rumble. And he's won Money in the Bank. So Seth Rollins has done it all. Cena's done it all as well, except for the Intercontinental belt. But then again, he never won the Universal title either. But he's already got a world championship, 16 of them. So I would love to see it, but we're just gonna have to wait and see on that. But that's a great point that MF made, and of course, obviously this was a dud. Obviously, hands down the worst fight of the night. It was even though it was a delicious squash by the Reign General on R-Truth. So not much more to say here, except let's get down to the main event of the evening. Yes, it's been done to death, but I'll tell you what. At least they made it at least they put a nice caveat on it. Yes, it's Becky Lynch versus Asuka once again, but it was a no holds barred match. Winner of the match in 11 minutes and 40 seconds. Big time Becky Lynch. And I love when Mike Rome does that little squeal there and that little voice crack there. I mean, you could say this is the new rated R superstar that, the little running gag with Tony Chimmel and Edge. This is definitely the running gag with Mike Rome and Becky Lynch. But anyways, this was a great way to close out the show. The crowd was into it, and the superstars did their best to make sure they sent the fans home happy. And big time Bex grabbing a table and a bunch of chairs before Asuka even made her entrance immediately set the tone for the match. Asuka just has an extra bit of pop when she hits people. Some wrestlers look like they are pulling punches. Asuka doesn't have that problem most of the time. Asuka hitting a missile dropkick to Lynch when she had a garbage can on her head was a great spot. They made it look so good. And every time these two get together, it's almost always the fight of the night. And this was no exception. 3.5 stars for me. This was the fight of the night, no doubt about it. And they always deliver, always. So there's not much more to say about it. MF, your girl, big time Bex. Big win, defeating Asuka in a no-holds-barred match. That's a huge win for her after the downward spiral she's been on recently.
And did you hear what she says after the match was over? I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. That only means one thing. Bianca, look out. She's coming after you again with the vengeance. So definitely, she now feels that whatever wrong that was written, from the failure from the Money in the Bank to the losing, that she was getting, I really feel like now more than ever the momentum has clearly shifted, and I truly believe now, this is it. It don't get no bigger than this. It don't get no more amazing than this. To see Big Time Bex win it, and to win it the way that she did, the momentum has shifted. So I don't know. We'll wait and see how it plays out. But one thing's for sure, it's going to be fun down the line. So this was a great matchup. Definitely one of the fights of the night. This was easily, I could say, another 3 stars. Anthony, it's yours.
All right, overall review and MF. Yes, there was some holiday silliness, but not too bad a show. Halfway decent show.
Yeah, halfway decent show. I'll give this about 6.25. At the end of the day, I thought it did all right. I thought it did fine for what it was worth. So yeah, there's really nothing more to add. So yeah, absolutely solid, brilliantly done. And so Anthony, it's yours.
I'll tell you what, last night's Raw was an easier watch than usual, and the main event was a big reason why. I'm actually going to be a little more generous on this because, we had quite a few good matches here. We had like 4 or 5 quality matches, and, they slowly but surely started to set the table for SummerSlam, and And that's really all there is to say. So I'm going to give this between 6.5 to 7 for this show. So not much more to say here. I'm going to get into my Tony's take here, and first we'll get into last Thursday's edition of Impact Wrestling, as it was the go home show for the Impact Plus special Against All Odds, and let's set it up. All right. We started it off with a four-way match with a four-way number one contenders match for the X Division Championship. Chris Bay versus Steve Macklin versus Laredo Kid versus Trey Miguel. Trey Miguel wins the match, and he advanced to Against All Odds to the challenge Speedball Mike Bailey for the X Division Championship. Solid opener. Not nearly as exciting as most of the X Division matches, but I'm not mad at that, with another solid match on the card. Another solid X Division match on the card, and a sweet title match set for Against All Odds. Trey versus Mike was sweet the last time we saw it, and we'll let you know how that turned out, because I'm going to share the results. I didn't see the show, but I'm gonna share the results of the show. I will do that. So 2 3/4 of a star for that match. Giselle Shaw went up against Rosemary, and Giselle Shaw wins the match, 2.5 stars. 2.5 stars for the match, rather. Decent enough match. Questionable finish, though, to further a storyline. I don't mind Shaw winning, but you got a ton of offense on the current Knockouts tag champion and picked up the win. It was decent, but not really that impressive, and I'm not a fan of making your champion look weak, and that's what we had here. Then from there, we had Savannah Evans squaring off against the Knockouts champion, Jordynne Grace. Jordynne Grace wins the match. Another 2 3/4 star match. Solid little singles match. Pretty good stuff. Grace looks really strong as the champion. She looks strong going into her Against All Odds title defense against the former champion Tasha Steelz. And enjoyable, solid match there. And then we had the World Tag Team Championship on the line. The champions, the Good Brothers, Doc Gallows and Machine Gun Carl Anderson, defending against Honor No More's PCO and Vincent. Winners of the match, and still the World Tag Team Champions, the Good Brothers. Another 2 3/4 star match. Solid tag match. Pretty much what I expected from both sides. Nothing too crazy, but not bad at all with predictable winners. Post-match was cool. Not huge on Harris getting involved, but as long as he's not in the match, then I can enjoy the story as it progresses. Really feels like PCO will turn and get away from Honor No More, but we'll have to wait and see on that. Alex Zane squaring off against Ace Austin. Ace Austin wins the match. This was the fight of the night. 3.5 stars. Awesome singles match. I imagine this could be why we had to go right to the singles match early on, as this was a bit longer than I expected, but they got to have a great match that I'm sure is similar to the one they had in the BOSJ, in the Battle of the Super Juniors tournament. I hope this storyline goes on for a bit, because Zayn is so good and Bay and Ace are a solid duo. Well, that's one of the fights of the night. And then we closed it out with the main event, a trip back in time, if you will, to Impact Past, to the days of NWA TNA. Two originals, Frankie Kazarian, Chris Sabin. Winner of the match, Chris Sabin. This was the fight of the night. 3 3/4 of a star. Very enjoyable main event. To some, this will be a straight up, nearly 5-star banger. It was fun and good, but just lacked something to me. Kaz and Sabin are both great, so you should expect a great match, and they delivered that here. Solid main event, even if it doesn't further much and instead seemingly closes out Kaz's recent return to Impact. It was fun, and I think he's now going to be fully committed going back to AEW. So I'll tell you what, last week's show started a bit slow for me. The X Division 4-way wasn't bad, but I had very high expectations considering the talent involved. The other opening matches and segment just didn't do a whole lot for me, but the last two matches especially were fantastic. They had a hype video for the Doring and Alexander world title bout that was solid, and the interview that followed was fine. I wasn't sold on that match, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. Decent go-home show, but with so many set for Against All Odds, they opted to keep them off the second set of the tapings, which led to an interesting show overall. And you definitely have to see those last two matches. So 6 3/4 out of 10 for me. So that's what we had on that show. And going into what we'll see, what's on tap for this week's show coming up. Which I'll get into in just a moment, because we got to get into the Against All Odds results, and that's what we're going to do. So bear with me for a moment, and then because one of the matches, I don't want to give away. I don't want to quite give away results. So, all right, here we go. Against All Odds, it aired on the Impact Plus. It was also on the YouTube for all of you insiders with that membership. It took place at the center stage in Atlanta, Georgia, and they obviously aired it on Friday night because, WWE had Money in the Bank on Saturday night, so they couldn't do it then. They usually do them on Saturday nights, but not in this case. We had a dark match that was not seen on either the pre-show or the main show, and why not? Because it was a match that nobody would really want to see. This was a dud match here. Johnny Swinger and Zicky Dice against Raj Singh and Shera. Swinger and Dice actually win the match, 5 minutes and 17 seconds. Not going to waste time on that. And then on the pre-show match, we had two pre-show matches. Black Taurus squaring off against the Laredo Kid. Black Taurus won the match, 7 minutes and 45 seconds. And then we had a combat match for the Impact Digital Media Championship. The champion, Rich Swann, defending against Brian Myers. Winner of the match, 10 minutes and 17 seconds. And new Impact Digital Media Champion, Brian Myers. Brian Myers with a singles championship. How about that? And now to the main card. We had the Motor City Machine Guns squaring off against Ace Austin and Chris Bay of the Bullet Club. Motor City Machine Guns win the match, 13 minutes, 22 seconds. And then it was Chelsea Green and Deonna Purrazzo squaring off against Mia Yim and Mickie James. A bit of a surprise here. Chelsea Green and Deonna Purrazzo win the match, 9 minutes and 5 seconds. And then it was the X Division Championship match. Champion Speedball Mike Bailey defending against Trey Miguel. Winner of the match, 14 minutes and 2 seconds. And still the X Division Champion, Speedball Mike Bailey. Then we had the Knockouts World Tag Team Championship matchup. The champions, Rosemary and Taya Valkyrie, squaring off against Giselle Shaw and Tennille Dashwood. I guess Giselle Shaw is now a member of the Influence. Madison Rayne was in their corner. Winners of the match in an even 9 minutes, and still the Knockouts Tag Team Champions, Rosemary and Taya Valkyrie. And then a 10-man tag team match. Heath, the reunited America's Most Wanted, and the World Tag Team Champions, the Good Brothers, squaring off against Honor No More. Winners of the match, 15 minutes and 17 seconds. The babyface team, Heath, America's Most Wanted, and the Good Brothers. Then the Clockwork Orange House of Fun match. Sami Callihan versus Moose. Moose evens the score, 17 minutes and 34 seconds. And then the Knockouts Championship match. Jordynne Grace defending against the former champion, Tasha Steelz. Jordynne Grace successfully defends the title, 11 minutes and 56 seconds. And then in the main event, Josh Alexander defending the World Heavyweight Championship against Joe Doring of Violent by Design. Winner of the match, 15 minutes, 59 seconds, and still the World Heavyweight Champion, the walking weapon, Josh Alexander. And those are the results of Against All Odds. I don't know when the next special is, but I imagine there'll probably be one in August, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. So with that, this Thursday night on Impact Wrestling, Speedball Mike Bailey is going to defend the X Division Championship against former AEW talent, now with Impact Wrestling, a former member of the Dark Order, Alan Angels. You remember he was number 5 in the Dark Order. He's going to be challenging Speedball Mike Bailey for the X Division Championship. Deonna Purrazzo will go one-on-one with Mia Yim. Laredo Kid goes one-on-one with Trey Miguel. And PCO of Honor No More will go up against Black Taurus of Decay. So that's all going to go down on Thursday night. So 8 p.m. Eastern, Access TV, 8:30 p.m. and commercial free on YouTube for all of you on here who have the insider membership. So not much more to say there. Now we'll quickly get into NXT Level Up. All right. All right, there we go. I'm just waiting for my... All right, here we go. Channing stacks Lorenzo of the family with Tony D'Angelo squaring off against Hank Walker. And Stacks wins the match, 4 minutes and 13 seconds. Crowd was into Walker, and he showed more than Lorenzo did, even in the loss. 1-star effort. Then we had Amari Miller squaring off against Sloan Jacobs. And Amari Miller wins the match, 5 minutes and 54 seconds. Rough in spots, hard hitting in others. Probably went a bit longer than they needed, but it was all right. 1.5 stars. And then in the main event, it was Javier Bernal squaring off against Duke Hudson. Duke Hudson wins it in 6 minutes and 53 seconds. Honest to goodness match between two guys that could actually string things together and make things look good. Nice to see that on this show every now and then. 2.25 stars, default fight of the night. The main event made this a better episode of this show. As always, if you're looking for great in-ring action, this is not the show for you. But it's still a breeze to watch, and seeing these kids grow in front of a crowd has been fun for me. I'll take what I can get with it. So 5.5 out of 10 for that. So with that will put the bow on this special Tuesday night edition of Ridiculously Raw. We want to thank you all so very much for tuning in as always. We'll be back with you tomorrow. MF, are you going to be on the show tomorrow, or am I running it? All right.
I will host it 10 p.m. Eastern.
Oh, right after Dynamite then. Okay, cool. So you heard it. You heard MF. Immediately following Dynamite tomorrow night at 10 p.m., it will be Wednesday Night Madness, as we will review NXT's Great American Bash, and we will also review AEW Dynamite. And then from there, Thursday night, we got TXN Sports World. I don't know, if you're going to have enough time to get into your big 3 stuff, because as you know, it'll be our NBA draft recap special that we couldn't do last week because of some conflicts, but we worked it out. So Thursday will be that show, TXN Sports World, as it will be our 2022 NBA draft recap, great team by team grades as always. And then Friday night we got the Cerebral Smack Talk, and that'll be Friday night Smackdown and AEW Rampage, and then we run it back next week. So that's it. So until 10 p.m. tomorrow night over on MX channel, Brace Fan 95 for Wednesday Night Madness. It's Anthony Florio here on behalf of all of us here at Talking Wrestling TXN. Good old MF Michael Fletcher, the Phenom Michael Bullock, and the First Lady Dee Dee Woodson. You know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah. Throw it up Fortune 4 style. Bye for now, my friends. God bless. Be good to each other. Have a blessed Wednesday, and until tomorrow night, on Wednesday Night Madness, you've been watching this special Tuesday night edition of Ridiculously Raw right here on the Tone 25 on YouTube and StreamYard.com. And remember, my friends, no matter what anyone tells you, beyond anything else, wrestling is indeed actually real. For everybody who's been a part of this one, for now, Anthony Florio, so long. Bye, everybody. Bye.